What's going on, guys? Thank you so much for coming back to Corporate TV. Today we got a developer interview with Coffee Stain, who are making the game Satisfactory, which is a game that I think a lot of you are really going to be into. Before we get into the interview, let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer here real quick, and then we'll get right into the interview with Jace. Thank you guys for coming back to Corporate TV, and today we're going to be having a developer interview with Jace, who is working on the game Satisfactory, which is something that was tweeted at me, was added at me. I think Jace added or responded to something on Twitter, and I was floored when I seen it. Jace, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing really well. How are you?
I'm doing great, doing great. Joining us on the call as well as we have Semtex UK. Sem, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing really well. Quite excited to speak to Jace about Satisfactory and all of the incredible kind of gameplay that we're going to see coming from it soon, I hope.
I am too. Jace, it is a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you.
So for anyone who doesn't know about Satisfactory, just give a really quick rundown on what would be on the back of the game box of what Satisfactory is.
Satisfactory is actually the biggest scam that we've held. That's not really a game. But we have so many people hyped for it. We're going to put pre-orders out, take your money, and then flee to, like, I don't know, the Bahamas or something.
Go hide in Russia with us, Snowden.
Snowden, yeah. We've been talking to him over very secure networks, of course. Carrier pigeon.
Well, there you go, guys. Interview's done. Thank you for tuning in. Next week, we'll have, I don't know, somebody else with a scam on.
Yeah, please invite me back. I had a lot of fun. So Satisfactory, it is basically like this first-person open-world factory building simulator game. So it's very similar to games like Factorio and Subnautica and things. People compare it to those. So you just build a factory. You're on an alien planet. You also have to walk around, scavenge for resources. There are creatures on the planet. And, yeah.
Okay. Are we talking about cute, cuddly, and or violent creatures?
A bit of both.
All right.
A bit of both.
Very good. Very good. Before we get into much of the meat and potatoes of the game, tell us a bit about the history and your history as well.
The history of Coffee Stain, I haven't been here the whole time. I've been here almost 4 years, rather. But before that, from what I understand, it was just a bunch of students at school. They made Sanctum 1, started a company. It did well. They made Sanctum 2. It did well. We didn't really have that much money to continue going for a project, especially not something like Satisfactory. And then we accidentally made Goat Simulator. That obviously gave us a bunch of funding to continue as a company.
Right.
And here we are making Satisfactory.
When you say accidentally made Goat Simulator, how could you perhaps delve into that a little bit? How
I think
was it an accidental kind of creation?
How does something so cool accidentally become made? Because I love Goat Simulator. I'm a big fan.
Yeah. I think someone just accidentally passed out on the keyboard or something. So I wasn't there at that time. I joined that year. But from what I understand, between games, and it's the same thing with Satisfactory as well, people pitch a bunch of ideas and make a bunch of prototypes, and they see what works out. And Goat Simulator was just one of many, and that one just ended up being hilarious. The video was put out online, it got like 1 million views, and that's just kind of how it happened. Yeah.
I got a couple just quick questions for Goat Simulator that I'm going to ask at the end here, because I'm a big fan.
Sure.
But going back to Satisfactory, where did the idea for the game come from?
Yeah, so again, it was through that same kind of process, and one of the small teams had this idea of, I think they were just obsessed with Factorio at that time, if I remember correctly. And so the project they wanted to make was a kind of 3D factory sim, but also a base defense kind of game that these monsters would attack your factory and whatnot. And so that was the idea. Just like every other team in the studio, they made their prototype, and when we played everyone's prototypes, this one, so Satisfactory, just and this was without the base defense. The prototype didn't have any base defense, but Satisfactory was just no one stopped playing. You know, we were supposed to only play every prototype for like 2 hours, and no one would just stop playing Satisfactory. And then lunchtime comes, everyone's playing through their lunch. They were just super addicted.
Really?
Yeah, and so that was like when it came down to like, all right, what games are we doing? It was a matter of, we're doing Satisfactory. There's no question. So
do you guys specialize in MK Ultra? I mean, is that what's going on here? That I don't know if you're familiar with what MK Ultra is.
Isn't that the CIA or something?
Yeah, the mind control and yeah.
I'm not sure in what way you're referring to it.
If people can't stop playing it, there must be.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
You have people ignoring food, which is something I wouldn't do.
Well, this is not really something I can delve into because we may or may not be continuing on with this MK Ultra stuff in the game.
All right.
Or in my YouTube videos. No one really likes my videos. They just feel compelled.
I love your videos. I love how you're the satire and your videos is absolutely amazing, and I'm hoping that a lot of people get the joke.
There's a lot of jokes that people don't, and I've had people message saying, like, for example, I don't know if you saw the one about where I answered the question about the price of the game.
Yeah. Yes.
So that was the answer I said was ridiculous. At the end of the day, it was like something like $300.
Yeah, it's gonna start at a $150, and then we'll increase from there. You know, the $250, and then we'll add microtransactions.
Yeah, and then $300 a month subscription, but you get 1,000 gems or something. Anyway, so like jokes like that, and still there were some people who didn't realize it was a joke. They were like, "Is it really $300? That's too much." So I guess that just happens when you're dealing with a larger audience. So that's fine. But there are a lot of jokes, like the I don't know if you guys have picked up on the everyone's a programmer joke. No?
I did. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You had said something like nobody here. Wait, you said I'm a programmer. Nobody thinks I'm a programmer, even outside of this place.
Yeah. Okay, so there was that one, but that's not the one I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
The one I'm talking about is, I don't know, you've seen Sophie's developer highlight video, I assume?
Yes.
Yep, so in there she says, yeah, I'm a programmer. I help Jace out. And then in the sound design one, I'm a programmer. I help Jace out. The composer, the music, I'm a programmer. I help Jace out. And the really fun thing about it is not everyone has picked up on it yet. And also when I did it the first time with Sophie, no one's going to question it. Why would anyone think Sophie being a programmer is a joke? Right. So it was this amazing joke that I created that is like only going to pay off 4 months down the track or something. And everyone's just going to believe it until then.
See, that's really cool what you guys are doing. You're giving like these updates every Wednesday, and you're letting people you're keeping people in the loop on what's going on with the development, the alpha, and things like that. And not only that, but you're hilarious. It's fun to watch your videos. I mean, I can sit there and watch videos even when you're not talking about Satisfactory. So
Wow.
definitely good job there. I mean, you guys are doing great.
Well, thank you very much.
So there is a story to this. I was reading on your webpage something to the effect of, let me go back up here to the webpage. It states that, let's see, welcome to FICSIT Incorporated, a company specialized in the research, development, and application of new technologies and science, anything to find short-term solutions to long-term problems. As part of our brand new Save the Day program, you'll be sent out to one of the many alien planets in an effort to contribute to Project Assembly, a project I am legally bound to not tell you anything about for fear of our lives and my job. So what is the story here?
Yeah, so I can't really say too much about the story.
Okay.
That's obviously something we want people to find out themselves. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's basically what you're saying there. You're going to be an engineer on a planet. You're a part of this Save the Day program. And yeah, you were working for the company, which is pronounced Fix-It. Funny. Completely
I didn't
hilarious.
even get that. Hold on, let me go back. I want to look at that again. That's right. It says Fix It.
Fix It, yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, you just have to create this big space elevator thing that goes to some other thing that does something.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a food court up the top.
All right. It's a
Many
food court.
McDonald's and a KFC up there. That's the ultimate game.
So people are just going to give up their lunches and everything. They're just going to eat in the game. They're going to go up to that food court.
Food, exactly.
That's why they didn't stop. There's probably better food up there.
I think there is better food up there, virtual food, than there is in Sweden, for sure. The pizza here is garbage.
Well, I guess that goes with my next question there. I mean, why are we building factories and conveyor belts on an alien planet? So I guess it's a food court.
Yeah. So yeah, basically exploiting the environment, collecting resources, whatever you need to use for Fix-It's own gain, or to fit their agenda.
So speaking of exploiting the environment, how big are these maps?
Yeah, it's really big. A lot of people have been they're thinking that the map is small because I think it's 5.4 kilometers by 5.4 kilometers or something. So it's 30, I think it's like 30 square kilometers, something like that. And people have compared it to other maps that are like PUBG or something where it's smaller than that. But the thing is, the map is huge. I don't know my way around the map, and I don't know anyone at the office who's really explored everywhere on the map. No one has even remotely covered the map with a factory. Like, if anything, they've covered like 5% of it. And not only that, you can build upwards. So it's not just a squared map; it's a cubed map. So it's a big map.
Okay,
Yeah.
in some games, what they have is they have big maps, but the travel time for an average step is more than that of an actual human on a map that size.
Yeah.
So therefore, your travel is quicker than what you can do in real life. So have you slowed down that travel time to match it to real life as far as
No.
mile per mile?
No, like sprinting is, in video games, like sprinting can be like 30 kilometers an hour or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's the same here. No, you run really fast. It still takes a long time to get around.
And so exploration is a big component to this game, just going off and exploring.
Absolutely, because, where you start, maybe there isn't coal, so you need to explore and find the coal,
Okay.
And like the same thing with other resources as well.
So ultimately, the end game is to kind of construct the sky elevator that leads to something that you end up discovering and connect them out. Okay.
I'll never let it go. But yeah, that's exactly correct.
Okay.
That is the game progression there. And so the game can be finished, basically, as well. There is an end, or you can play forever if you want. But
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So that's good. Definitely replayability. Multiplayer. I know this is another topic that Semtex is really interested in. I know that there's going to be multiplayer, and you said something about in the alpha, like the first initial release of the alpha, there's not, because you guys want to be able to study what's going on with single player and then add the multiplayer, and because obviously you can't study both at the same time, so you're going to release the single player first. Will there be like some, like any type of PvP or defend my factory against other players sort of thing?
Yeah, so there won't be any PvP, and there'll be no defending the factory. And a lot of people were a little, hesitant about the base defense aspect, but the reason we cut it is because basically, as we were designing the game, it began to make less and less sense to have it in the game, and then we cut it and we're like, this makes sense. And that might sound strange to others, but we spent a lot of time designing this game, and we felt that that was the best thing for it. And then as for cutting multiplayer out at the beginning of the alpha test, yeah, the multiplayer aspects will be incredibly distracting. This is a big game, and it's really tricky to design. And so if we throw multiplayer in there, the feedback we're going to be getting will be multiplayer related, but also just connection issues and all that stuff, which is important to fix. We got to do that. But right away, we want to know if onboarding is good, if people are enjoying it at the beginning, and single player only really streamlines that for us.
Okay.
Okay. What would be the potential kind of numbers involved when it comes to the multiplayer when you kind of reach the actual release stage, or what are your plans in that respect? Will it be kind of limited to 2 or perhaps 4 people, or will it be MMO-like where you can have 50, 60 people building together?
Yeah, so we say that we officially support 4, but we probably won't put a limit on it. So if you want 50 people to join, invite your 50 friends, and the server will crash, and it's gonna be really fun.
It's just quite interesting to see, because obviously when it comes to building kind of epic structures, if you are able to share that, especially when it comes to gathering resources, that obviously is quite a powerful and potent thing that you can do in games where you are kind of constructing things. So yeah, that was why I kind of queried.
Yeah. So there's a lot of like optimizations and stuff that we did to sort of make sure all that stuff runs well, and there's much more we can still do for sure. But yeah, it is really cool. It's really nice when someone's back home optimizing the factory, and 1 or 2 people have gone out to explore to find collectibles or resources that we can mine in the future. Yeah.
Okay. The next question is about, it's a continuation about maps, sort of. On the webpage, it says you will be sent to one of many alien planets. So is there more than one planet?
Yeah, that's actually strange that we have that there. But no, there is only one map. I think what the text there is referring to is that the Save the Day program, lore-wise, Fix-It is sending people out to many planets. But that is definitely misleading, because people might think that there are many planets in the game.
Okay.
There's not. There's just the one.
So in the lore, there are many planets, but our story takes place on the one that you've grabbed it for us.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. From what I've seen, you showed a couple videos where it showed some of the environments and things like that. It seems to me like there's a lot of different biomes. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, so I think what we have is 4 biomes, I think. But yeah, so there's not like a lot of different biomes, but there's like 4, and even when you're in one, it still varies quite a bit within the one. Yeah, so it's pretty interesting. We have like a desert, we have like a green foresty area, we have a big forest thing, and some other swampy thing. As you know, I know everything about this game. Clearly, there's a swamp thing. It's really fun, I promise.
Okay, so that's really cool. There's you're so sarcastic in your videos in a good way that I sometimes when you're answering no to something, I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not. And So when it talked about like weather systems and stuff like that, were you being sarcastic by saying no, or is it just plain no? There's no weather.
Oh, I don't know. What do you reckon?
So I don't know. You're a puzzle box. I mean, I'm just going to change your name to Rubik's Cube. I can't figure it out.
There's no weather on the planet, but there's a constant rain cloud over the food court. No, all right. There is no weather. There is no weather.
Okay.
I promise. I swear. Yeah.
I still don't know if I believe that answer.
Well,
there's
that's half the fun for me, to be honest.
All right. So
you really want people to find out these things when they play it. You want it to be kind of a true sort of sense of exploration and discovery.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, and like a lot of people ask for a lot of information about the game, and that makes total sense. I can understand that. But in my opinion, answering, like if I were to go online and answer every question that everyone asks, I don't think people would actually want that. They might think they want that, they might want it in the short term, but that's just going to affect the gameplay experience. It's going to affect how we market the game, et cetera, which is going to affect the game in the long term. So I think keeping things vague and, especially when I create, it's a very deliberate thing when I create a lot of doubt with what I'm saying about the game so that people aren't sure and they have to go in the game and find out themselves.
Right.
At the same time, it amuses them and
Definitely.
It's not a boring, what's the word? Corporate, we cannot confirm or deny at this stage kind of situation.
What you should really start doing is confirming some features in one video and denying them in another.
Oh yeah, just keep going back and forth.
Yeah, just go back and forth.
But you said that's a good one. May have to steal that one from you, sir.
I love your image that you put out about the game that you guys are working on, and it said SA and it was blacked out, and a lot of people thought it was Sanctum 3.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, that was a really good one. Yep, that was nice.
Okay, all right, I gotta get serious. Vehicles. I seen your video where you were testing out the varied vehicles, and how are we going to be using it? And some of them, I also showed how you could automate them. Do you have to automate them all, or can you just do some of them take on a job based on a particular thing you've built? Yeah, so it is, you automate it yourself. You just take it for a drive, you record the path that you want it to take, and then you just let it do its thing. You can edit the path and things like that as well, but you do automate each vehicle, I believe, at this point. I'm not sure if that's changing. Yeah. Okay, and then you could just hop in one of these and just take it out and go exploring too. Yeah, of course. So like it's automated, it swings by, just jump in it, and then it stops automating. And okay. Have we seen all of the land vehicles that are going to be in the game, or are you guys holding back some? You have seen all the vehicles. Okay. What about flying vehicles? Do we have those? I don't know if we've confirmed or denied it. I mean, there is that weird drone thing that everyone goes on about, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'd just like to not say anything about this. I want them. Yeah, sure. I do. I love flying in games. I don't know why. But yeah, I would definitely like to see them. But so I saw another one of your videos that was pretty funny about arachnophobia. Oh, and yeah. I want you to tell me about that story, and then I want you to tell me about the arachnophobia mode, which I saw your nightmare video or something, a really quick video. And after that, then we could talk about what are some of the fauna and some of the enemies that are in the world. Yeah, okay. So the arachnophobia mode is, we have a developer here at Coffee Stain who is incredibly arachnophobic. And so we have these like big spidery-like creatures which are bad enough to really trigger that person to the point they can't even play the game. So we came up with the idea of arachnophobia mode, just replacing the 3D models of that creature to just cat sprites. That's it. Swap them out to cat sprites, and they're all kind of like glitchy and stuff. So they're a little spooky still. And they still sound the same. They just everything is the same. Right. We just replaced the mesh with a cat because at the same time we didn't really want to put like so much effort into making this elaborate system
When, you know, if we were going to do that, we could just remake the monster, right? But at the same time, that person thought, well, just because I'm arachnophobic, I don't think we should necessarily influence the direction we wanted for the game. So let's just make some dumb mode, which sort of acknowledges it and removes the issue. So now that person can play the game and the spiders thingies won't pop out.
Got you. So that's kind of funny, really funny actually. I also saw a Fauna video of yours where you had, you know, the first thing I seen at Satisfactory was during last E3, and I didn't know what the heck I was watching. This really cute lizard thing was just doing its own little thing, and you could hear all this machinery and stuff. That's when I first caught wind of Satisfactory, but again, I didn't know that that was connected to that until when, you know, we had our interaction on Twitter, and I started researching. So the Fauna looks absolutely amazing, and
thank you.
So what are we to expect? I mean, I'm pretty sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, but that we haven't seen all the Fauna in that video that you released.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I can at least think of one thing that we haven't shown.
Okay.
There might be more. Yeah.
Right.
So we have a wide variety of fauna. We have some passive fauna. They kind of just bring the world alive, and you know, you can kind of interact with them. I'm not going to say much more about that. But then there's a lot of like aggressive fauna, I suppose.
Okay. Yeah.
Of various. They have various AI styles, and you have to deal with them in different ways. And they, for the most part, can act as barriers to you getting to resources or getting to other areas of the map. Yeah. They're pretty scary.
Very awesome. And did you say they attack your factory?
They don't attack your factory.
They don't. Okay, so you guys initially planned on having a little bit of Sanctum type gameplay mixed in with this, but you decided to go against it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Sam, you got anything?
I'm curious. Would it be possible for that fauna to attack you while you were in vehicles or anything like that, or would it be purely when you were on foot that would be?
They can attack you on vehicles. I'm pretty sure it's still like that, but I do remember that they could, and I'm pretty sure it's still like that. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they even attack. Maybe they even attack your vehicles while they're automating. I'm not sure. Maybe that's wrong. I could be wrong there, but I'm sure they do. Yeah. I'm gonna say yes because it's just I might be wrong, but I'm quite certain they do. They did at least. Yeah.
I'm going to ask a big question that you may or I don't think you have an answer to, actually, and people probably don't normally at this stage. But will Satisfactory be released on consoles?
Yeah, so we don't have an answer for that at this point. But the thing is, in our history, all of our games have been ported to all the things. So hopefully that'll happen with Satisfactory as well. But that is, we have our hands super tied with just getting this game running and making it fun and whatnot on Windows only. So we're just, if we can get that down, maybe we'll then look into other things. But yeah, so it would be cool.
Like you said, you got a good track record of your games actually going to consoles. So, and Sam, you wanted to say something about we were talking off air about the comedy and the satire in the games that they produce.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, all of your games do seem to have a very kind of comic value that you carry through. Where does that come from? Is that just kind of the friendship that you guys will have as developers in the studio, that's kind of reflected in the games, or is that, you know, is it intentional at all, or?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is a reflection of everyone. But the thing is, the company has. Wait, someone getting stabbed.
Why stabbed? What's going on there, man? Is this a regular occurrence?
That was Sam again, though, right?
That was me, yeah.
Where did you live to?
Yeah, it happens sometimes. What can you say? What can you say?
Where were we? Oh, yeah. Speaking, funny things, right? Yeah, so like the company has changed personnel-wise a lot over the years, but somehow, regardless of whatever combination of personnel we have here, it's just remains this really fun environment. So I do think it's a big, I do think that the way the company started and the people who started the company set a solid foundation of that, so that when people ended up joining, you know, they just took on that same thing, and that's just the company culture here now. So we can't help but put funny things in the game. And when it comes to management and whatnot, like, they're not going to be like, no, you can't put this joke in the game. They're the same. They're going to be like, oh, that's really funny. People would love it. Definitely put it in. Or someone's going to be like, I took an extra hour to make a little gag here, and everyone's going to be like, yeah, cool, go for it. So we all enjoy that humor from all levels of the company, which is why they let me do my thing, which is ridiculous. Yeah.
Very good, very good. All right, so I want to get onto a couple unrelated questions, but is there anything about Satisfactory we did not cover that you think my audience would love to hear?
Yeah, so we kind of said, our director said that we are shooting for 80 to 100 hours of gameplay on just one save, and that's to finish the game. Of course, you can keep playing after that.
Right.
And there's only one person who has finished the game in the world right now, and that is Simon, our resident meme. And it took him 131 hours to finish the game. Now, that doesn't mean he's the quickest person or anything like that.
Right, he could be like
he's
me.
Not. Yeah, oh, he's slower than everyone on the planet.
Right, that's
I
me.
love Simon so much. Yeah, I think you guys will get along very slowly. Yeah, so that's an indication there. It took him 131 hours. He was playing pretty casually though, you know, but if there were people out there who are really quick, I don't know, like even if it took a speedy person 50 hours, isn't that cool? I think so.
Yeah, definitely. Semtex is one of those people that'll probably break your record on speed.
There you go. We'll see you at the next SGDQ or something. You can kick Cancer's butt.
Yeah, I am very much looking forward to it. It looks like it seems that you guys really approach kind of game development from a really different perspective. You know, obviously with Sanctum and especially Goat Simulator, that's completely, it's just such a random thing to kind of pick. And
right, yeah.
It's brilliant that it was able to kind of draw in so many people, and that's allowed you kind of freedom to develop things like this.
Yeah.
I have one more question. If I don't ask this, my life is in danger and I will be murdered.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So the other night, I was walking to the store to get me a soda, and I was approaching a dark alley by a person wearing a black suit and a black hat, and he had a suitcase. He handed me the suitcase, and he said, "There's a bunch of money in here. You can have it as long as you ask Jace one question."
Okay.
And I took the briefcase. I took the briefcase, so I have to ask this question.
All right. Hit me.
Are there going to be pipes in the game?
I'm done with this shit. I'm fucking done.
You
never doing an interview with
you gotta save my life, dude. You gotta answer the darn question.
Let's see. What do I say about pipes, eh? I don't know. Maybe there are pipes up in the food court.
The food court doesn't exist.
The food court exists. Everyone doubts it, but you'll see. You'll see. Data mine the game, and you'll find a food court. I promise. Yeah. So I think with pipes, I like to keep that ambiguous.
Okay.
Yeah. The biggest thing about pipes is that whole thing just kind of started with everyone started getting so hyped for pipes. I'm a poet, and it just, in my opinion, didn't make sense. Like the level of hype for how much pipes would contribute to the game just didn't make much sense, and so that's kind of why I riled people up, and now I regret it very much. You guys could,
you could have not tried so hard on this game. You could have just made it about building pipes, and that's it. You released the game a year ago, and everyone would be happy with pipes.
Yeah, why did we do a Factorio-esque 3D, like a 3D version of like a Factorio game, when we could have done a 3D version of Pipe Dream from like the 1800s?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we should have just done that. Absolutely, you're right.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the next project. You heard it here first on Cobra TV.
Well, I thank you, Jace, so much for saving my life. I'm going to spend this money well, and that you're welcome to everybody in the community that funded for the person to threaten my life with money. Done.
I do expect a cut of this. I expect at least a very expensive bottle of gin.
I'll buy you another pipe.
Oh, you're done. That's it. You're on thin ice, buddy. If you want to work together with me again, you gotta buy some gin.
Oh, there we go again.
Another person stabbed again.
Yeah, sorry, there's a fire. I'm not too far away.
Oh, okay.
Talk about the alpha in case people are here that don't know about the alpha or when it's coming, or how you release it in pieces. Go ahead and talk about that if you could.
Yeah. So the alpha will start on October the 17th, unless the studio burns down or something. And at the very beginning of the alpha, it's going to be a closed alpha. It'll be under a soft NDA. Therefore, we ask that nobody releases any screenshots or footage or anything like that. Right. In the beginning, we're going to only accept 200 people, which is not a lot of people at all. But we just want a small group to make sure that dispatching keys is okay, and that we are able to get feedback okay, and that we can distribute the game okay. And then once that's the case, we're just going to ramp up how many people are in. The alpha will also be in various stages where we plan on focusing on a specific starting point, because the main goal of the alpha is to really tighten up the early game. That's our initial goal. So we're going to bring people in, have them focus on one starting area, and then we'll switch to another phase of the alpha where we'll focus on a different starting area. But also at every phase, there'll be an update of the game. Maybe new features will be added. Maybe multiplayer will be added in one of the phases. More people will be added. So if you don't get into the alpha right away, you may be added later. Next week, we're going to be releasing some kind of survey, and all people who have signed up at satisfactorygame.com will be sent that survey. You can still do that, by the way. And so everyone will get the survey, people fill out the survey, and then we're going to pick the people. So that's kind of the way everyone's going to be chosen, and that's how the alpha is going to be run.
Okay. And you said that not having a beast PC is not going to have anything to do with, that you're going to get picked.
Exactly.
Okay.
I mean, there's going to be a bajillion people with beast PCs, and we don't only want people who have really good computers. We want people who have lower spec computers as well.
Right.
So, you saying that you've got an amazing PC and there's 10,000 other people or more who have an amazing PC is not going to help you.
Right. So don't lie, pretty much. They want to know the truth on how it's affecting your actual specs.
Absolutely. Right. Because then we just get the wrong sample of people, and we don't get the feedback that we need. So please don't lie. Yeah, so if anyone wants to keep up to date with what's happening with Satisfactory, we have a Discord channel. We have Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, and also our YouTube channel. Subscribing to that is probably the best way to keep up to date with what's happening. We try to put out some kind of content there, videos, every week. Every Wednesday has been the current schedule. So we have a lot of stuff out there, a lot of information, and it's a great way to keep up with what's happening. So if you like, consider subscribing there. Smash that little notification bell.
Smash it, guys.
Smash it until it breaks, and then you can't use it anymore.
And as my friend Rub and Apple said, beat the heck out of that like button like it's a person who owed you lunch money from 5th grade.
But if you beat the heck out of it, make sure you do it an odd number of times. Otherwise, so then you land on like and not dislike. So if you're gonna punch it, give it like 3, 5, 7.
Right. It's got to be an odd number. That's right. That's a very good point. Very good point. Yes. I'll get those links, guys. If you don't, you should see them right down there in the description. But you could also get them from the description of their YouTube channel, which I'll also have linked down below. All the links will be down there. Support these guys; they're doing an awesome job on this amazing game, and I can't wait to play it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I really look forward to kind of seeing the development process and seeing where it goes. I really, really hope it ends up coming to console as well, because I'd love to try it. It looks really, really intriguing.
Yeah, I hope so as well. I think everyone here would love to see that. I do think at this point, if anyone thinks about it, they shudder because we have so much work right now. But of course, it would be incredible. We wouldn't want to alienate the console community. So.
Okay, Jace, it's been a pleasure having you on the show, man. And I've had fun, and you are very funny.
Oh, thank you very much. You're too kind. You're giving me way too much of an ego boost. You shouldn't do that. So thank you very much. I had a lot of fun myself, too. yeah, I really enjoy doing these things. So thank you for reaching out and asking.
Very awesome. Very awesome. All right, Jace, I'll catch you later, buddy.
All right. See you later.